Yeah.
looking at. Okay, now there's a lot of people you work with who felt stuck.
Yeah.
And that's just what it is. So what are some common reasons men in particular feel like they've hit a wall in life?
Oh man. So a big part of my job as a psychologist is really getting people to move. It's about behavior change, right? And some people don't even know they need to change. Some people know they need to change and they don't know how. Some people think they know how to change, but it's not working. Most of those last two are the most of the people who come to therapy. What does that even mean, right? So any good behavior change starts with an honest assessment of yourself, your strengths, your weaknesses, what you've done before, what's worked, what's not worked, what you're willing to do, and what are like the hard no's for you, right? Like, like if I wanted to lose weight, people are like, oh man, you should do one of those Tough Mudder. I was like, nah, that's a hard pass for me, dude. Like, I'll ride the bike, I'll climb a wall, but just I don't do mud. It's like mud is like a texture thing for me, so I wouldn't do Tough Mudder, right? Now, if you wanted to, I'd be like, great, let's sign Izzy up for the Tough Mudder, and I will do the triathlon that involves no mud at all. Because we're playing to our strengths, right?
Right.
So a lot of times with men in particular, you feel like you've got to fit in a particular box to be successful and do a thing. Like corporate success looks like this, relationship success looks like this, kid success looks like this, car success looks like this, lawn success. If you're one of those guys who's into your lawn, I am not, but my dad is, right? Like, then you're judging your own success, your own journey on other people's performance, but that means you're hooking your happiness to what other people do.
Yeah.
Right? So the more we can realize that we are only in competition with ourselves, the happier and more successful and more unstuck we're going to get. They don't just show up in Mordor, they walk to Mordor. Walking is an active verb, right? And, if you think about somebody like, if I'm working with a guy who's like more a sports guy, like a golfer, like Tiger Woods is a great example of somebody who got very far on raw natural talent and then realized that like the stuff underneath his raw natural talent wasn't sustainable, right? He's like, I got to hire a swing coach.
And why do you think it's so hard for men to tolerate failure? And how can they learn to embrace it for their growth?
I mean, I think society tells us that failure is weakness, right? And men aren't allowed to be weak, right? Men don't get sad, they get angry. They don't get scared, they get angry. They don't get overwhelmed, they get angry, right? Right. And I think that's the question men aren't taught, right? We're not taught to learn from our mistakes, right? If you miss that free throw, well, maybe you shouldn't shoot it that way. Maybe you should shoot it a different way. If you strike out with these girls at the club, maybe you should be flirting with different kinds of girls. Like, it applies to all aspects of life from finance to fitness and everything in between. But you've got to be willing to think about those other pathways.